Both are true. Can you still do well in a bad economy? Hell yeah. The ability to make a decision has two consequences, success or failure. People who are so scared of failure don't put themselves in a place to succeed. I've got a no-brainer that I think has changed my life and probably changed a lot of people's lives as well. Key question from one of our viewers, and I really appreciate it. What is a financial habit that I would recommend most Australians adopt? I've got a no-brainer that I think has changed my life and probably changed a lot of people's lives as well. One that I developed back when I was a financial planner, and that is the 3 bank account budget system. It is designed to be dumb-proof. It is designed to be easy, and it is designed to actually improve your lifestyle as opposed to most budgets which are designed to restrict it. So how does it work? I have 3 accounts. One account is called the direct debit account. That direct debit account covers things like mortgage repayments or rent or private health, car payments, everything that is consistent and a fixed operating cost of my lifestyle. The second account is the account for payments with things like groceries, milk, petrol, day-to-day things that I would use my key card for. And the third account is what I call a fund. Very, very critical accounts. So the direct debit account, all direct debits come from there and my wage goes into there. Because the money is very, very, very consistent, I will put, let's say I've got 10K in there of my wage. Let's say all my fixed operational expenses are 6,000. Let's say 2,000 is for everyday monthly expenses like groceries, petrol, and all that sort of stuff. And that leaves $2,000 left. So 622. Of the 6K direct debits, they stay there. And let's say of that sum, because I've got 2 left, I'm going to put $1,000 in savings. So this is the account the bank will have access to when they ask for my pay slips or when they ask for my bank transactions when I'm applying for a loan. So this account will show 10,000 going in, 6,000 being spent, $1,000 going to savings, and that amount compounding. The other transactions will come from that account in 2 transactions, one saying everyday expenses and one saying fund, which means now the account that the banks see is not up for scrutiny in any which way, shape, or form, but there is an allocation at some, so they have full transparency of where my money's going. And they're showing consistent savings habits and everything's going swimmingly well and consistent. They love consistent. So that one's all set. All direct debits are coming from there. The middle account, which is the direct debit account, if I'm in a relationship with my wife, me and my wife will have the exact key card to the exact same account. This forces communication. That communication would be that, hey, I'm going to go do groceries, and then I will put in the WhatsApp group, hey, just spend $600 on groceries, right? Or $200 on petrol, whatever it is. So that way we are both accountable to what we're actually spending collectively. And it's not about judgment. This is for essential stuff. So we know that it has to happen for the household, but that communication forces it to happen, because if there's $90 in the bank account and I'm at the shop paying $60 in petrol, my wife's at the place doing $40 in groceries, we have to communicate. Otherwise, one of us is about to get very embarrassed and very pissed off. The last account is fund, which is basically we can take the money, put it on a table, put it on fire and dance around the table, have no impact on our life whatsoever. This account is designed for quality of life that we otherwise wouldn't give ourselves. What's important with that fund is it's unguilty pleasure. And let me tell you, if you're busy and you're not spending that fund and you come to me from when back when I was a financial advisor and you say, I've got 20 grand there, what do I do, Peter? I will say, go have fun. Do not put it in the savings account. Do not. Because as long as the system works and your motivation to enjoy yourself is still there, then the budget can be consistent and manageable. And that, my friends, is the number one habit I constantly incentivize my clients to have, and something that I've adapted into my own personal life. And my wife watching this at home is probably laughing at me with my less than consistent nature than what I used to have. But obviously, if you're working hard and you're getting your goals, then sometimes we can slip, but as long as the framework still works. Question from another viewer. Is Sydney a no-go zone? Is it unaffordable now for everyday Australians? Answer is no. It's all relative to your expectations of lifestyle. The thing we come across in our office more than you can imagine is people who have the champagne lifestyle with the big budget. And that is people have an expectation of what kind of lifestyle they want to live, but don't want to work for it, don't want to save for it, don't want to structure for it, don't want to make investment decisions for it. But the reality of Sydney is it has some things for everyone, right? So you can decide to rent in Piedmont, pay $2,500, $3,000 a week, and then life is expensive. Go out every single weekend, eat at the finest restaurants, and there is a world where that is perfectly fine if you're willing to work for that world. On the other side of things is you can also get a 3-bedroom flat in Blacktown for $550 to $600 a week. You can have a great lifestyle, take your kids to a public school, pay for groceries that you need and cook at home. And all these things are still available to you. You can go into the fringes of Sydney and go towards Penrith. You can go past out Campbelltown, Picton. You can go as far out as you want past the Central Coast. You can even go into metropolitan areas and get smaller accommodation, older accommodation. It is all relative to what you want. My view of Sydney, it is a playground which hosts all your favorite kinds of parties. But for those who want to excel and live a certain lifestyle to here, absolutely it's going to be more expensive than Melbourne, for example, right now, where properties are significantly cheaper. Not so much Queensland, which is definitely getting there in price now, but it's also where the opportunity is, right? Where the money is, where you want to work. So for those who aspire to that greater lifestyle, they're going to want to work in the big offices and the big firms and get the big positions and in those scenarios. I've seen people in Sydney, and it's probably all over the world, but in all of Australia, I've seen someone who works in accounts who earns $360,000 a year for a big firm based out in North Sydney. I've seen someone who works in logistics earning $300,000, $350,000 a year. I've seen a PA earn $220,000 to $260,000. Those who aspire to that lifestyle can basically find money anywhere. And I know that they say that the median household income is about $70K. I mean, we're not experiencing that. I mean, the median income factors in a lot of people who work part-time. It factors in a lot of people who work just out of school. And it factors everyone who's working in. And it's also worth noting that most of the billionaires, high net worth individuals, they've left Australia or are leaving. So that number is a bit skewed because the majority of people we see come into the table gainfully employed full-time, earning around the 105 to 110 mark pretty consistently. But in saying that, there's a place for everyone from Centrelink who need the support all the way through to people who want to earn and are here to get that lifestyle that is associated with it. So answer your question, no. I think there's a place for everyone in Sydney. Is it the best place for everyone? No, I'm not arguing it's the best part of Australia. Are we blaming the economy too much, or are we just making individually poor decisions? Both are true. Economy makes life complicated, right? When inflation's going through the roof, when mortgages are getting higher, there is financial strain put on us, on everyone, rich and poor alike. It probably hurts more the middle income families the most, people who are emerging, trying to gain, buying properties, establishing the roots in their foundation more than it hurts the high net worths. But a bad economies make it harder. Can you still do well in a bad economy? Hell yeah, of course. Absolutely you can. Just takes a few key things, whether it's discipline, whether it's making the right decisions. But can I tell you what really is the impact that I think determines success from failure? The ability to make a decision one way or the other. And that decision has two consequences, success or failure. People who are so scared of failure don't put themselves in a place to succeed. People who make the decision and the decision results in failure get to learn, get to adapt, get to progress. Both parts of the decision actually lead to success. Just one is more instant than the other. Is the economy an influencer? Absolutely. Is it the only influencer? No. Is it about poor decisions? I would say not really. I think it's more about indecision. So that's the key to that question. I hope it's answered it. Are we blaming the economy too much? No. I think most people who blame the economy, I think it's important to note they're just trying to put pressure on people to make good decisions. And especially in the world where I see it, in which we talk to everyday Australians trying to get into the property market, the government and all the media is pegging this as a means to help everyday Australians have a fair go. I represent these people. They think they're being stiffed. They think they're being screwed. So when we're scrutinizing the government, it's because we feel like they need to know that they're doing the wrong thing. Do I think it's going to change anything? No. But hey, if we got a voice, we're going to try to air it. Hopefully some kind of impact happens, but it only happens when everyone agrees. And that's not happening yet. So hopefully history will prove us all right. I hope you're well. I hope this helps you. And please like, share, and subscribe for more tips. Guys, we are getting thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views a day. Please like, subscribe. If you're loving the content, press the notification button. Jump on board. More free advice just for you.